you and reptiles kind of make sense. The juice is old enough to drive. Indeed, it is. It is, but not the last one. Definitely not. We don't need any 8 to 10 year olds on the road. God, yeah. Have y'all seen those like news clips of like these like kids that steal their grandma's car and then like just like crash it, or either they just drive it to like McDonald's? I swear to God, I see a lot of that, and it's always like they kind of like praise them on the news, right? Because they're like laughing along, like oh ho ho, but like also like we already have enough like extremely old people on the road. We don't need some extremely young people. That's just my hot take on that. So, age is just a number, you know? I know you're talking about the whiskey, but hopefully, you know, you're not talking about the 8 to 10 year old drivers. I don't know. You know, if you are in favor of lowering the driver's license age, go to Canada. But I'm like, no, don't go to Canada. Like, go somewhere else. Just kidding. David says my money's on 5. Well, we'll see. All right, we're about to get into the flight. I said extremely old people, Donnie. You do not fall into that category. But I appreciate your you know, helping with defeat the ageism, because ageism is wrong, and I find myself guilty of it at times. So thank you for the check there, Donnie. All right, let's go ahead and get into the first whiskey of the night. I've been rambling on too much, but hopefully y'all are having a good night, and I appreciate y'all spending it with me here tonight. So let's go ahead and give Gryffindor, our first whiskey of the night, a nose. I'm really curious to see if I'll be able to pull out the youngest and the oldest in this flight. Of course, they're all blends, and I know I like all of these. I think my review of the 6 was like it was better than middle of the road, but it wasn't my favorite. But I'd never compared it to the others. So let's go ahead and work our way through it and find out. On the nose, this one has some really good nuttiness. It's kind of like reminding me of kind of like it's like a mix between like a young Jim Beam, not quite like a Knob Creek, but like a young Jim Beam nuttiness, and what I expect from MGP, which it's always hard to like, you know how like certain distilleries have certain flavor profiles that you associate with them? Like Jim Beam is typically nutty. Heaven Hill to me is always like a baked good dessert. You know, some people say Wild Turkey is spicy, but what do people say about MGP? I've always struggled with that because I feel like MGP is such a solid, I don't want to say middle of the road bourbon, but it's such a solid, good bourbon. I think that's why a lot of people source it. What is the flavor note that you associate with MGP? I know with Buffalo Trace, it's that cherry note. But I'm really curious to hear what you guys think associate with MGP. All right. So, Greg said this could be good practice for Matt Madness. We'll see if I'll compete again next year. We'll see if I'm invited. But yeah, this definitely would be the extremes of training. Because like if I can get this right, if I can guess the oldest and the youngest in this, I'll be pretty proud of myself, honestly. Danny's Candies in the house have to go with 5, so that's the only one I've been able to get. That's fair. That's fair. Twizzler's Licorice. Oh, interesting. You say that for the MGP note. Steven says blueberry. Whoa, okay. I'll look for that. Well, we're drinking all MGP tonight, so we'll see if I find any of those notes. All right. I've nosed Gryffindor, but I haven't tried it, so let's go ahead and try it. Cheers, y'all, and thank y'all for watching. Okay, I got blueberries on the mind. I do get that. I see why you would say that. To me, it's like a sweet, like candied fruit. I was gonna say like a grape, but it's not really like a grape. It's like a yeah, like a candy, like a sugar coated something. Blueberry. I've never had a sugar coated blueberry, but I could see that kind of being along that flavor profile. I want to get my flavor reel here just so I can, you know, be a little more scientific with this. That's really interesting. Reg says Buffalo Trace is more grape tasting. Yeah, I've heard that too. To me, I get more cherry, but absolutely, I hear people get grape on that one all the time. Cat Madness. You and Sugar Kitty should totally do that competition. Whiskey Burger says we need to ride the Cliffy bus to the Matt Madness finale. Maybe. We'll see. I made it to the semifinals last time. Don't think I made the quarterfinals. I don't know. Maybe I made the quarterfinals. It's all a blur to me. It's just a lot of fun. Stanley's here. What's up, Stanley? Good to see you. Driving home from a quick hunt. Well, hopefully your hunt was fruitful. I didn't do any hunting today, but I picked up some bottles from K&L Wine and Spirits, which is my local liquor store here in Hollywood. I got a Russell's Reserve single barrel pick, which I haven't had one of those in a long time. I'm really excited for that. I got a Knob Creek pick, of course. I mean, who would I be without getting another Knob Creek pick? Adriana understands. I got a rare breed that was on sale for like $43. I'm like, $43 for rare breed? Absolutely. And then I got a Old Overholt Bonded, just a teaser. I have a bunch of samples of different Old Overholts, thanks to our friend Swan, who is lurking tonight. He sent me the 114 proof and then an age shaded one. I think it's 11 year. So I think I'm going to do an Old Overholt rye stream sometime soon. If y'all don't know, that is the rye whiskey that comes out of Jim Beam. Really, really cool. I wish I had it in front of me. It's a really cool old label. But I think that'll be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. Definitely is going to be a lot of fun with that stream. I'm excited to try them all. Ben is here. Good to see you, Ben. Hope you're doing well. So for those of you that are just now joining, I am doing a Wheel of Whiskey giveaway tonight. The little pinned message over there, every $5 super chat is an entry on the Wheel of Whiskey. Someone is winning a blind flight of all 4 of these Remuses tonight. So get your entries in. We'll spend that in about 30 minutes or so. All right, we got to get through the rest of these whiskeys. I will say Gryffindor. It's hard to judge the first one on first sip. However, I will say, what a great start. That's really good. It doesn't have really long of a finish though. It's kind of hits you with a really good flavor and then falls a little flat. So let's go ahead and move on to Hufflepuff and see if maybe it's any better. And then of course we're gonna work our way back through them. We're gonna get a second chance on everything. So let's go ahead and give Hufflepuff a nose. Okay. So just comparatively, these two are really similar. I would say the nose on Gryffindor is a lot sweeter. This one's a little more muted, maybe a little bit more oaky. It's kind of hard to tell in the nose. Still got that sugared fruit note. This one has a little bit more of like a tartness that I'm wondering is maybe like I don't know, there's like a sourness to it. I'm really curious to see if that's going to be the oak or if that's going to be the fruit that's going to be that tart. So let's go ahead and try Hufflepuff. Cheers. Definitely more oak on Hufflepuff. Oh yeah, that one's got some of those vintage like old book notes or like leather, like old attic-y leather, like a bookstore that's been like closed for 20 years. It has some of those vintage elements on it. Oh man, and that's got a much longer finish. Oof, Hufflepuff is already starting off right tonight. I mean, of course, I'll give Gryffindor a second chance, but Hufflepuff tastes older. It has a lot more finish, and it has that wood oakiness that I really like. I mean, even, with the exception of 6, 3, 4, and 5 are like we're dealing with 12 to 16-year-old bourbon here. It is really old, well-aged bourbon. I mean, it's really hard to get MGP at that age, especially today. And these all come in about $90 to $100 MSRP. I think the MSRP went up higher on the 6. I think is that when it became? Maybe it was 90 before, and now it's 100, or it was 100 before, and now it's 110. It's a slight adjustment. But it is the youngest as well, so that's an interesting point to make. Jason is a Ravenclaw guy. Yeah, I can see that, Jason. It's a nice mix. I haven't heard anyone say Gryffindor. I saw 1 Slytherin, 2 Hufflepuffs, and now 2 Ravenclaws. I'm sure I missed some earlier too. So, are there any Gryffindors in the house, or is that just so like too basic and generic? I know they're like the brave, good-hearted people, but also it's also kind of basic. I used to say I was Gryffindor, but nah, I'm definitely more evil than that. Regs Lugo is in for more chances to win on the Wheel of Whiskey. He said, I'll catch up on the replay since I have work in 6 hours. Have a good night, everyone. Yes, get some rest. Gosh, that's tough. But cheers to you. Thank you so much. And I'll definitely make sure, if anyone's leaving before the end of the stream, make sure to watch the replay. Because a lot of you, I don't have your Instagram handle, so I can't reach out to you. So reach out to me if you win. But cheers to you. One Mo Cast is here as well. Cheers, all fun flight names. Yeah, I had to go with the theming it. I've done. So the first one was themed after oh shoot, the first one, what was it? I was gonna say Fall Guys. That wasn't Fall Guys. It was what's the big game that everyone plays? Fortnite. Yes, God, I'm so old. Fortnite on the first one, Splatoon 3 on the second one, and this one's the new Hogwarts Legacy. Gotta throw in the video games in there somehow. Awesome. So, Kathy Jo says 10 points for Hufflepuff. Well, Hufflepuff is doing well so far. That's a really good whiskey. So, Hufflepuff might take the lead tonight. Hufflepuff might take the lead tonight. We'll find out, though. Aiden says, I took an online test and got Slytherin. I thought probably just randomized. Took it again, got Slytherin. Took it again and got Slytherin. So I guess I'm Slytherin. Yeah. Probably a pretty good sign. Unless it was just rigged and just everyone gets the same thing. Probably the only one who was surprised I got that house. Fortnite, yes, thank you, Steve. I don't know how I missed that. Went from $89.99 for the 5 to $120 for the 6 in Virginia. Wow, that is a big jump. $30. Oof, I feel like I can justify $10 to $20, but 30 is a big freaking leap. Oh my gosh. Jason, he said, don't need to be added to the wheel, just showing some love for Nobilis. Well, thank you so much, Jason. If you guys don't know, I am part of a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. We do it live here on WhiskeyTube every Monday night, 6:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. I play along with Jason from the Mash and Drum, Ed from the Rock Gut Review, Bill from the Whiskey Dick is our Dungeon Master, and Molly from Hugging the Cactus is also joining us there. So it's called Dungeons and Drams. I have a link to it down in the description below. Y'all definitely go check that out. Bill actually uploaded a recap that kind of summarized the first like 16 episodes, I think, in one video. So if you're behind and want to get caught up, definitely check that out. Even if you're new to Dungeons and Dragons, so was I, and I think you'll have a lot of fun. Actually, Adriana, Whiskey Mountains, just joined us, and her character is definitely going to be a fun one. It's going to be a great addition to our party. So definitely check that out. And thank you so much, Jason, for that. And Adriana for dropping the info there. Yeah, the link is down in the description below. I have a ton of fun with that. All right, shall we move on to Ravenclaw, since we have some Ravenclaw fans here in the house? Let's go ahead and try that one. Let's give that one a nose. I'm really curious if I can see. I'm challenging myself to pick out which one's the oldest and which one's the youngest tonight. Because again, we're dealing with the same whiskey from the same distillery, the mash bills are a little different. Same proof, all just different ages. That's the only difference here. And they're all blends, of course. They're not single barrels, so you have to keep that in mind. Okay, I'm getting more oak on this one than Hufflepuff, which is interesting. On the nose, Hufflepuff had like a hint of the oak, but Ravenclaw, that's the most dominant note. I'm getting less of the sweetness on this one, more of the I don't want to say tannic oak. I would say Hufflepuff was a little tannic, but I like tannic. Ravenclaw is more of like I don't know. It's a note that I feel like I coined myself. I don't know. I always say saturated oak. I mean like a dripping, juicy, soaked barrel. This is smelling really good on the nose. Let's go ahead and give Ravenclaw a try. Cheers. Wow. That's old. The same vintage library kind of book notes. A little bit of leather. This one's more of like a or I'll say the Hufflepuff is like a new leather boot. Ravenclaw is like an old leather, like a saddle leather. Is that a thing? I don't know. Kathy Joe, you know about saddle leather. Yeah, that's interesting. It's definitely like a more worn leather. Definitely still really good, really dark, and this has a really long finish as well. You know, maybe Ravenclaw is that older one. Maybe the Ravenclaw is the 5. First impression, I feel like Hufflepuff was still some of that oakiness, but I think it was even a little bit better on the palate. Now we're going to work our way back through these. We're going to move on to the final one. We got to keep it going tonight. Let's try Slytherin. Now this was, I don't know anything about it. It's a blind flight. I was going to say, now this one I'm worried about, but just the name Slytherin is giving me some feelings. So, but like I said, I discovered that I am a Slytherin, so let's give this one a nose. Ooh. This one's hot on the nose. This one honestly has the most alcohol coming off the nose. It's more of a... This one's darker, but in a different kind of way. I'm looking at my cheat sheet here. You know, this one is more of like a smoky, kind of toasty kind of oak. Less of the tannins and less of like the saturated, like sappy kind of oak. But this one's more like a little smoky and darker. These are getting better as we go along. Let's go ahead and try Slytherin. Cheers. Okay, didn't impress me. To me, that one it definitely has more of a taste kind of young. Tastes a little young. It does have a little bit of like a toasted element, almost like a toasted barrel bourbon. You know how sometimes that gives you like a little bit more of like a sweetness, like a marshmallow sweetness. I can't tell if it's that kind of sweetness or if it's like a corn sweetness. Like maybe it's coming from the youth. I don't actually know. It does have a decently long finish though. It's honestly not bad. It's just compared to the other two dark ones, the Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw, Slytherin's kind of light, which is kind of funny with the names. But, that's really interesting. Thank you, Donnie, for dropping the link to Dungeons and Drams. Appreciate that. When I think leather, I think belt section at Macy's. Okay, so that's more of like a new leather. Yeah, for sure. Kathy Jo says that I can confirm... Oh, Whiskey Mountains and I can confirm that saddle leather is absolutely a note. Okay,